Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving deep into a fascinating and often misunderstood topic: how men fall in love in silence. We'll explore the psychology behind how men express love, how their feelings develop, and how they show affection without always saying a word. If you've ever wondered why a man might seem quiet or reserved while in love, this video will shed some light on that. So, grab a seat, relax, and let's dive into the psychology of men and love. When we think of love, we often envision grand gestures, romantic dinners, or even constant verbal affirmations like, "I love you." But for many men, falling in love is an experience that's more subtle, more quiet. This doesn't mean they care any less. It just means their way of processing emotions and showing affection is different. In fact, men often tend to internalize their emotions and express them through actions rather than words. It's important to understand that men are typically socialized from a young age to be more stoic and less emotionally expressive. Society often teaches men to be tough, reserved, and avoid showing vulnerability. This doesn't make men emotionally distant. Rather, it means that they're less likely to openly display or discuss their feelings in the same way women might. For example, when a man falls in love, he might not immediately express it through verbal declarations. He might not be the first to say, "I love you," or share his emotions openly in conversation. Instead, he processes these emotions internally, thinking deeply about what this relationship means for him. Often, he'll fall in love quietly, taking time to understand his feelings before sharing them. So, how do men express their love in silence? One of the primary ways is through their actions. If you're in a relationship with a man who loves you, you'll often see it in what he does rather than what he says. Men are more likely to show love by providing, protecting, or taking care of things that matter to the woman they care about. Think about this. When a man loves you, he's the one who's likely to go out of his way to make sure you're safe. Or he might handle a situation without being asked, like fixing something around the house or driving you to an appointment. These acts of care are his way of showing love, even though he might not say a word about it. He might also take the time to listen to you when you talk about your day, even if he's tired or distracted. It's not about grand romantic gestures, it's the little things. For example, remembering how you take your coffee in the morning, or noticing when you're stressed and offering a helping hand. These small details show that he's paying attention to you and cares about your well-being. These actions are love in its purest form. They show a man's commitment to providing and supporting the person he loves, even if he doesn't vocalize it every time. He might not say, "I love you," constantly, but he'll demonstrate it in ways that speak volumes. Another way men fall in love in silence is through emotional intimacy. Men often bond with their partners not through constant communication, but through shared experiences and the quiet moments spent together. This is something women may find harder to understand, especially if they tend to communicate more openly about their feelings. Imagine a man and a woman sitting together in a quiet park, or lying on the couch next to each other while watching TV. There's no deep conversation happening, but there's still a sense of emotional connection. For men, this is often how they feel most intimate. They value the shared presence more than the verbal expression of emotions. Men may not always be talking, but they can feel deeply connected to their partner in these moments. Sometimes the silence between them is what allows the relationship to feel the most solid. It's not about filling every moment with words. It's about being comfortable in each other's presence without any pressure to perform or be something you're not. This can be particularly confusing if you're used to a partner who's more verbal about their feelings. But for many men, the silence is a sign of emotional intimacy. They don't need to talk constantly to feel close to someone. Simply being there in the same space is enough. Now, let's talk about vulnerability. Men are often conditioned to be strong, tough, and self-sufficient, so showing vulnerability can be difficult. However, when a man falls in love, he starts to lower his defenses. It's not that men avoid expressing emotions. They just tend to do so in more reserved ways, and it often takes time for them to fully open up. One way men show vulnerability in love is through the actions they take in sharing a part of their inner world. It may not be a dramatic confession of love, but a subtle sign like sharing a past experience or talking about something that matters deeply to him. This kind of vulnerability can be silent but powerful. For example, he might share a memory from his childhood or talk about a goal he has for the future. It's not the same as a woman who might immediately talk about how she's feeling, but it's still a way for him to open up emotionally and let his partner in. These moments of vulnerability are often quiet, but they are incredibly meaningful because they show a man's trust in his partner. Men often view love through the lens of long-term commitment. This is another reason why their expressions of love can seem quieter. When a man falls in love, he starts to think about the future and how he can contribute to it. Love isn't just a feeling. It's something he wants to build, nurture, and protect over time. For men, the commitment they make to their partner often comes with actions and decisions that reflect this long-term mindset. They may not express their feelings with constant words, but their behavior and choices demonstrate their love. For example, a man who is in love might start making plans for the future, whether it's about career decisions, moving in together, or financial planning. He might involve you in these discussions because he sees you as part of his long-term future. While women might expect verbal affirmation and reassurance, men often show their commitment in the way they make decisions and think about their shared future. For them, this is a deep and lasting expression of love. It's crucial to note that silence doesn't always mean indifference. A man's silence doesn't mean he's not interested or emotionally disconnected. Sometimes, he's simply taking his time to process his feelings. Men often want to be certain about their emotions before they express them, which can create periods of quiet reflection. If you're in a relationship with a man and he's being quiet, it's important not to jump to conclusions. The silence is often part of his internal process. He might be reflecting on the relationship, considering how to best express his feelings, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the bond without needing to talk constantly about it. The key is to understand that silence is often a sign of depth. It's not a lack of care, but rather a more thoughtful and careful approach to expressing love. For men, love can feel intense even in the quiet moments. To wrap it all up, men may fall in love in silence, but that doesn't make their love any less powerful or real. In fact, the quiet ways they express affection can often be more profound because they show a deep level of thought, commitment, and care. Men tend to express love through their actions, the quiet moments they share, their vulnerability, and their long-term commitment to building a future together. So, The next time you find yourself wondering why a man isn't saying much, remember that silence doesn't mean indifference. It could very well be his way of showing that he loves you deeply. Love doesn't always need to be spoken. It can be felt in the actions, the moments of connection, and the silent bonds that grow between two people. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Let me know in the comments below if you've experienced this kind of silent love in your relationships. Until next time.